In the forest primeval, the school for good and evil. Two towers like twin heads, one for the pure, one for the wicked. Try to escape, you'll always fail. The only way out is through a fairy tale. Hello there, I'm your friendly neighbourhood fangirl and I'm so excited because the School for Good and Evil film comes out tomorrow. I used to dream about making it myself ever since I read the books in primary school, but Netflix beat me to it. So instead, every day I check the old SGU website for updates on it. And now it's finally coming out. To celebrate, I decided to cosplay one of the original 3 witches of Room 66, Dot. Dot's a character that I love because I learnt to love myself through her. She helped me be more body positive and she taught me how to be more confident in being part of complicated friend groups. It was fun and pretty easy to put together her costume, but before we get into it, let me just clarify that I'm specifically cosplaying the artist Michael Blank's design for this character. The characters and their costumes are obviously going to look a little different in the film, and I absolutely love how diverse the cast is. Caitlin Akinflumi is playing Dot, and she's also been cast in the upcoming Hunger Games prequel, so I can't wait to see her bring her characters to life. I still can't believe I'm going to be watching SGU tomorrow, oh my goodness. Anyways, let's begin to break down the cosplay, or I might break down myself. After rereading the books for the 5th time, I explored Dot's character a little bit more by reading The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood by Howard Pyle, since I couldn't find a copy of the original. Then I opened up the Ever Never handbook to take a look at the Never Girl uniform of Dot's time, which can be found on page 27. The basics come down to a pair of boots with pointed toes and a black T-length cotton smock. I had to research the meaning of T-length, which means the dress ends below the knee but above the ankle. Apparently this is because it's what a woman would wear to the tea table in the 1920s. So much Chainani teaches me some random stuff and I appreciate that. Next I created my inspiration page, including the official art, some fan art, and some other stuff I found online. And then I combined everything into my own design for exactly what I wanted to do. Just a reminder, I don't own any images in this video except for those that are obviously my own. For this cosplay you need 2 pieces of clothing. First is a white shirt with a black button between a collar with rounded points. I got mine from a secondhand store for $5 and just sewed the button on. From the same secondhand store, for the same price, I also found my black cotton dress that has perfect bell sleeves. In the handbook, the dress is described as a dumpy, tattered tunic that sagged like shredded curtains, being made of musty black fabric. But I didn't want to completely destroy mine, so I just cut the little flowers off the sleeves and my mum helped me hem it to the right length. And that's it for the clothes. I couldn't find an actual illustration of the Never School crest on the Never Girl uniform, so I just used the crest from this illustration of a teacher for inspiration, and decided to make my own little embroidered badge. On plain white fabric, I sketched a swan before embroidering it with black thread. Then I cut it out in a circular shape and hot glued it to a small piece of foam, folding the edges over the back. I also hot glued a safety pin on the back so I could attach it to my dress. Over the dress is this batwing collar, as I've named it, which was a bit more complicated to make. First, I measured and cut a piece of wire that would fit around my neck and twisted the ends into a hook and an eye. Second, I measured and cut 7 pieces of wire for the points, and third, I did the same for 6 curved pieces connecting them. With the help of hot glue and those purple rubber bands that come from broccolini from the supermarket, I pieced everything together with help from my mum. Then I tried the collar on and we bent it into shape. I got distracted from taking photos during the last part of the process, but basically all we did was cut out 6 triangular pieces of black fabric and then connect them to the wire by hand sewing over the 4 edges of each section. Of course I needed a chocolate bar as a prop, along with the SGU handbook, so I bought an aero bar and replaced the plastic wrapper with my own that I made out of black cardboard with some white paper around the top. Last but not least, I added some black boots to the costume to complete it. For my hair, I did 2 plaits and tied them up behind my ears with a couple of bands. For my makeup, I used primer, concealer, contour, mascara, glittery eyeshadow, and black lipstick. I also painted my nails black before the photo shoot, which leads us perfectly into the outcome. The night before the photo shoot, I hadn't found a location and I was freaking out. So hopping into the car in the middle of a try-on, I drove around in costume with my mum, and luckily we found a church that had nice grey walls that resembled those of the School for Evil, in my mind. So that's where we went the next day. Thank you for watching. Here's some footage.
Thank you.